I'm just saying that this column might be a way to say.
Okay, yeah, you might want to change the seat so you get a better view. Yeah.
No, this is Cook County. It doesn't accept horizontal. There's the assessor. There's the assessor right there. That's the main assessor of Cook County. Oh, and there goes Jose. There's the guy this is the guy right here who called Cook County sheriffs in the past. He's the assistant. This is going to be interesting. Here's a house full of sheep. House full of sheep. Instead of watch the people's questions. We'll see in a minute here. No, T-Dot, YouTube doesn't allow that no more. They don't allow that. This is the main assessor for Cook County. How do we have 50 people in here and only 2 thumbs up?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to our workshop. Please, if you're standing, take your seat. We will begin shortly. All questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. Please take a seat. Thank you.
We don't get the delay out.
They're getting ready. Please make sure you hit the thumb up.
What's up, buddy?
Jose, how
You
you?
gonna come give us a hard time? I'm just asking. I just want to know.
What do you mean? What do you,
Here, now.
what do you mean?
Different.
Sit right here, don't be giving me a hard time.
That's Jose from the. He said, "Are you guys gonna give me a hard time?" Hey T, should I mention the Christina Lynch episode to the assessor? I could walk up to him right now and ask him. What do you say? Should I walk up to him and ask him? And I want to ask him about the badge on his door, that it's supposed to be open. I got his oath of office and bond certified, but I don't have it on me. I should have came with it. There goes an employee right there, an employee taking pictures of the people. I want to do the same. Just like her.
Hey everybody, good evening. If we could all have a seat, we'll get started here. This is a terrific room with wonderful acoustics and the sound carries. So I know some of us can hear better than others. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes. Okay, great. I'm Prince Kagi. I'm your Cook County Assessor. I'm happy that you're here tonight. I know it's a beautiful night, beautiful weather. There are many other places that you'd like to be. And we're here to help you tonight, give you some knowledge, help you to make sure that you're getting all the benefits that you're entitled to, that your assessment's correct, and then we want to let you to go about your business, get the information you need. We will stick around here, so everyone's question is answered tonight. So I just want you to know that I or another member of my team will stick here until all the questions are answered, and then we'll be on our way. We can enjoy the rest of the beautiful evening going about our business. As the assessor, I'm going to walk through a couple things that will help you to understand how we fit in, how to make sense of your reassessment notice, how what our office does fits in within the larger property tax system. It's not the whole part of the system, it's the short end of it. And then we'll give you practical information on how you can get your exemptions, make sure if you feel like your assessment was not accurate, that you can be made more accurate. We're also going to give you some information that equips you better as to be a citizen for how the larger system works and other aspects of it. So without any further ado, let's just get going. I do have a couple of associates here on my team who will walk through how to do an appeal online. Also, this presentation will be available on Facebook and YouTube if you want to check it later, including all the slides. So just feel free to absorb in the moment all the information that we're gathering here, all the questions, and if you need to go in the back for anything, you can do that. You're welcome to take pictures too if you like. We try to make it so that you can get the whole QR code up there on the screen, and we're going to get started here. So the assessor's office, how do we fit in? How do you make sense of this assessment notice that you received? What we do at the assessor's office is to estimate the value of every property in Cook County. That's our job. And it's not just your houses that we have to estimate, it's the value of all the different commercial and industrial buildings that we have in Cook County, all of the lots, all the bits of land. So imagine all the different kinds of properties we have on the 6 corners here, all the different kind of properties downtown. It's all part of one system. And the job that we have to do for other properties impacts you. One of the things we'll show you tonight is that your share of all the assessed value in Chicago is your share of the amount of taxes that other bodies of government have said they need to provide the services that you get. So all the taxes that are determined by others, not by the assessor's office, this is the taxes for schools, the taxes for the city, the taxes for our park districts, for the water, for everything else. In Chicago, it's a little bit more than $8 billion a year. It's like a dinner tab. And we all divide up that dinner tab based on each person's share of total assessed value in the city. And this is a reassessment year where we take a new snapshot of values. And if values for buildings elsewhere are growing, that can absorb any increase in assessment that you're having, and your share of assessed value might not change that much, even if your own assessed value grows. So that's something I want to leave you with tonight to think about. We'll get more into it. The other thing that our office does, besides estimating the value of buildings and homes, is also to apply exemptions. Exemptions are parts of our property tax system that are there to provide savings for homeowners. off of the top of the bill. So every homeowner, regardless of income, if it's their main residence, is entitled to a homeowner's exemption. And that takes, in Chicago, a little bit less than $1,000 right off the top of your bill. We're here to make sure that everyone signs up for the exemptions. If you look to your right or to your left, 1 out of the 3 of you probably doesn't have your homeowners, and that means you have savings coming to you. You can actually look back up to 4 years for the years that you didn't have it and be refunded for those years, and make sure you have it going forward. If you're a senior, there are exemptions for free. We'll talk about those exemptions there too. The important thing to know about our office is that, first of all, we're not the last word on assessments. We'll talk about that a little bit, but also the board review is the second body of appeal that you can go to once we're done setting assessed values. But they can also change the complexion of our property tax base and change your share of the burden, even if you're not appealing. And also, we don't set the taxes ourselves. That's determined by your school board, by the Chicago Public Schools, by the city. That's something that we don't do. So, but what we're doing is estimating the values, and we want to make sure that the value of your home is done right. So as you can see here, this is a reassessment year in Chicago. Many of you are here because you got a notice in the mail saying that we estimated a new value for your house. And that is based on what we see, transactions in the community. We'll talk about that. And once we send out an assessment notice to you, you have 30 business days to say, hey, assessor, you didn't get this right, and you can make an appeal. One of the things I want to leave you with is that you are the world's greatest expert on your own property. We at the assessor's office are a couple hundred people trying to estimate the value of 1.9 million properties. We want to make sure that we walk humbly as we do that. There are probably important things about your home that we don't know yet. And the appeal process is a way for you to get that information to us so that we get it right. Even if we're doing a really good job, there are going to be times when we're off, and the appeals process is there for you to make sure it's done right. Okay, so we can go to the next slide here. This, in a nutshell, is what we've seen as we did the snapshot of properties in this community and other communities in the northwest side of Chicago. You can see that the last time that we did this reassessment was in 2021. Since then, housing values have gone up, although not up as much as other neighborhoods around the city of Chicago. We saw the median assessment increase on the northwest side go up 13% over 3 years. Most of that increase was experienced in 2022, probably the after effects of COVID, as people were looking for nice homes like we can get around here. In the last year, you'll see that values came down just a little bit in the market, and that's what we look to. We look at sales that have happened as our indication for where the market is. About 10% of homes in a given area will have sold over the last 3 years, and we use those 10% of homes that did sell to help give us a signal for how much the other 90% that didn't sell are worth. And that's almost certainly the case with your own home. You can see that condos haven't changed as much as single-family homes. This kind of makes sense as people are looking for a little bit more space in the wake of COVID. There's a lot more demand for families, for people who want a little bit more space. There are not enough new homes being built. Condos have not changed quite as much in value as they have with single family. And then with multifamily, we can see that there's a median change of 18% in 2 to 6 flats. This is part of the ongoing demand for more apartment space. We don't have enough apartments in Chicago, and there's very low vacancy rates, and so we're seeing strong demand for apartments. And a lot of people like to save money through owning nice, reliable Chicago 2 to 6 flats. If you want to learn more about what we found in your neighborhood and other neighborhoods by you, we have a wealth of information on our website. What you can do is go look at your assessment notice. On your assessment notice, there'll be a neighborhood code. You can use that neighborhood code to go into this web page right here, www.cookcountyassessor.com/Jefferson Residential Valuations. Again, you can go back and look at this on YouTube or Facebook, so you don't have to copy that long link. The can also take a picture. If you click on your neighborhood or hover over your neighborhood, you can see how things went differently from neighborhood to neighborhood. This shows you what happened with the most recent sales in the last year, how many sales we saw in each neighborhood, what the price range was, top price, bottom price, and median, and you can see what the price ranges were. And I know a lot of you probably don't want to get too much in the details, but a lot of other people love to see what's going on in the neighborhood, so we have a wealth of information there for you on the website. You can see here in this neighborhood, the typical median single-family home sold for $355,000, and we estimate the median home to be $340,000. So you might wonder, why is there a difference there? We see generally the homes that are being sold are ones that have been fixed up more than the typical home. So we know that some homes might not have been fixed up, might not have been rehabbed, like the homes that are selling, and this kind of reflects that difference. We try to capture that as best we can, but in your appeal, I want you all to know that probably the most effective thing to mention in an appeal is if you haven't had any renovations for a long time. That can mean your home is not average, but below average, and should be compared to other below average homes. So when you listen to the step-by-step instructions on how to do an appeal, I find that the most effective thing to mention is to tell us that thing that we didn't already know about what's going on inside your house, that can maybe be a reason why it's below average rather than average. Okay, we'll go to the next slide here. If you're looking for more information about what's going on with the city, we have a wealth that you can find on our data dashboards on our website. If you go to www.cookcountyassessor.com and then click on data, there's a section for data dashboards, which lets you see how things have proceeded in each part of the city. This is one of the last parts of the city that we've reassessed. I mentioned that we don't see housing values up quite as much here as we see in the rest of the city. And you can go and verify that for yourself by looking at what we've seen going on in other neighborhoods. As I mentioned, the most important thing that gives you an indication of where property taxes are going is how much your assessment changed relative to how things are going on in the whole city. That sounds a little bit complicated, but here's why it's important. In 2021, there were hundreds of thousands of people in Chicago whose assessment rose, but their tax bill fell. And that includes many people in this neighborhood. The reason why is that their assessment rose less than the city's overall assessed value rose, which means that their share of assessed value fell, which means that their tax bill could fall even though their assessment rose. I'm not going to say that's going to happen with each one of you, but it's an important context to remember. A lot of people were surprised when their assessment went up 10, 15% in 2021, but their tax bill fell, and that was because the city's overall assessed value went up 20%. This is an important thing to remember. A lot of you might think that, oh, my assessment rose 13%. That means my tax bill is going up 13%. It doesn't. That's not the way our system works here in Cook County or Illinois. Generally, in most years, because assessed value is rising, your tax bill is not going to go up as much as your assessed value. There can sometimes be differences there, but that's one thing I wanted to leave you with. Now we're going to get to the part of the section where we go to one last thing I want to show you, and then we're going to get to the part where we talk about how to do an appeal, because I know many of you are interested in this. You can get a lot more information about what we know about your house right on the website, and this is important too. As I mentioned, you're the world's greatest expert on your own home. We're a couple hundred people trying to value 1.9 million properties. You can go to the website and see what we think we know about your home there by putting in your PIN, and then if you click on that button where it says access more in-depth property details here, that's the blue button there at the bottom. That's what will come up when you put your PIN into our website. That will give you all the information that we have about the value of your home, sales that we see in the past for your home, permits that have been reported to our office about your home, and a lot of other information. How many square feet we think your home has, how many bathrooms, and so on. And if we're getting important things wrong, you should correct the record. You can make an appeal to correct the characteristics. Imagine if we think your home is a brick home, but actually it's a wood frame. That might mean the market would value it really differently. So that's why it's important to make sure that we've got the right information about your home. Okay, now I'm gonna hand it off to Lupe, who's one of our great experts on how to do an appeal, and she will show you how to do this. Lupe.
I gotta pull the microphone back, I'm a little bit shorter than the assessor. But let's give a hand of applause for the assessor. So, I just want to take a moment to thank the Commissioner's Office for having us here tonight. They are the people that asked us to be here, to be able to be here for your community and be able to address all of your questions and your concerns. So that's what we will try to do today. So, now after all of those data and all those numbers, you're probably still looking at your appeal and you're saying, okay, what now? What do I do from here? So that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So there are 3 common reasons why someone would want to file an appeal. So the very first one being lack of uniformity. So the lack of uniformity is, let's say that I have my home in beautiful Jefferson Park, or sorry, not Jefferson Park, in Jefferson Township, and my home is being valued at $500,000. But the assessor, who's my neighbor here, his home was valued at $600,000. Who do you think should be mad in that situation? I heard chuckles, so someone knows the answer. In that situation, it would be the assessor. Because in this situation, my home is framed, same square footage, same everything as the assessor's. We have the exact same home. If anything, we might confuse our homes in one long night. We might confuse our homes because they're so similar. And in that situation, that is lack of uniformity. Because my home and the assessor's home are supposed to be exactly the same. So that means they should be valued exactly the same. The other reason is overvaluation. So many of you probably got that reassessment notice, looked at that value, and you said, oh no, my home is not worth that much. How many of you guys saw that and said that? Yeah, pretty much everyone in the room. Good. So exactly, that's exactly what overvaluation is. You looked at that value and said, if my home was actually worth that, then I would give you the keys right now, right? But it's not always like that, and that is one of the things the assessor was mentioning, that you guys are the world's best experts on your home. There are certain details that we don't know, like the inside of your home, or maybe it is subject to flooding, or maybe, there's something quirky about it, and this is an opportunity for you guys to be able to tell us that. So the third reason is incorrect property description. So that is when there is something factually wrong about your home. So whether that is the square footage, the construction type, how old it is, if it has a garage, if it doesn't, it has a finished attic or not, if it has a basement or not. All of those things are things that can affect the value of your home. So now, how many of you guys brought your notice with you? I want you guys to take it all out. I want you guys to look at this as we're talking about it. This is very important information that I want you guys to look at. It's like we're in school. We're going to go back. And it's been, at least for me, it's been a few years since the last time I was in school. So, we're going to look at this notice, and these are the things that you want to make sure are correct. So the very first thing at the top is your PIN number. A lot of us know this by heart. If you don't, no big deal. But that is the PIN, and it's almost like the social security number of your home. The second thing that you want to look at is the estimated fair market value, which is in that number 1 box. So this is the value that we have put on your home based off the sales over the last 3 years. The second thing you want to look at is in box number 2, and that is your neighborhood code and your property characteristics. Again, you want to make sure that these are correct, and that you're noting what your neighborhood code is. Because if you remember, the assessor pointed out some things about how to look at even further information about the sales specifically in your neighborhood area. And then the third thing you want to look at is the assessed value in box 3 over the last 3 years. So you can see those changes in the value of your home over the last 3 years. And then the very, very bottom, which is super, super important, is your deadline. So your deadline to file an appeal with Jefferson Township with our office is November 13th. So I want you guys to pull out your phone right now and mark it for November 12th. Because I do not want you guys to be those people at 11:59 p.m. trying to file an appeal. It may not happen. So I do want you guys to be proactive about it. Go home, start the application, and then see how you feel about doing it online. But that is an opportunity for you guys to do it. It is also very important that when you're looking at these characteristics again, and they're incorrect, that's when you have a reason to file an appeal. And that if you file an appeal and you were to win that appeal, your new value would be reflected in your second installment bill of 2025. So again, I'm gonna repeat that again. It'll show up on your second installment of 2025. Everything happens in the yellow bill, in the spring bill. And then I want you guys to flip it over. So in the back, we have a lot more information, which is one of the best ways to be able to lower your property tax bill, and that is through exemptions. So exemptions, again, in the city of Chicago can vary, but a homeowner's exemption can save you a little bit less than $1,000. So make sure that you have it. As the assessor mentioned, 1 in 3 people do not have their homeowner's exemption. So please make sure that you are receiving them. But we do have other exemptions as well that are listed in the back. So please make sure that you are receiving them, and we are going to talk about the exemptions briefly in case you don't know what those eligibilities are. And then at the bottom is also our contact information. So let's review, let's recap everything that I just said, because I tend to drink a lot of coffee and I may have been speaking really, really, really fast for you guys. So the first thing you're going to get is that reassessment notice. If you disagree with that value, which again, based on the show of hands, a lot of you guys did disagree with the value of your home. So you're going to file that appeal, but you're going to provide us with a reason as to why you are filing that appeal. So then you can submit documentation or evidence to help support your appeal. So that can be done through comparable properties, photos of the inside of your home, photos of the outside of your home, or maybe you want to show us that you don't have a basement and we have you that you do have a basement. You can submit pictures of your basement and your Christmas decorations that are used as storage in the basement. You can show us all of that information on there as well. And then our analyst will make a decision. So it will either be a decrease or a no change. Currently under our office, there will be no increase in the value of your home if you were to file an appeal. So again, it is a no change or a decrease. I will talk about that in the next couple slides. Sorry, my mouth is really driving my coffee. So again, filing an appeal with our website is super, super easy. And you can do this by going on our website here. If you have the brochure that Jose, which is that he handed out, or if you grab it from the back of our table, if you flip it in the back, there is a QR code. This will take you to our link tree, which will list all the links to our office, and specifically the one so that you can file an appeal. But our online system will guide you through your filing. You can start a draft, save it, revise it. If you're filling it out and you get really, really, really mad about the value of your home, you can save it and come back to it later. But again, you're going to be coming back to it on November 12th so that you can submit it. And again, filing with our office is completely free, because I know many of you guys probably came in with a notice with a lawyer that they say that they can lower your property taxes. I know we get those, my parents get them all the time, but all they're doing is filing an appeal for you. And that is something that you can do free with our office. Okay, now I'm gonna take some water. And we're gonna get into the step-by-step guide as to how to file an appeal online. And hopefully you guys will all be confident by the end of this to be able to go home and file your appeal. So the very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the website at the cookcountyassessor.com, and we're gonna click at the top header where it says appeals. And then that drop down is gonna say file online. And then, can you go to the next slide? you're gonna click on residential or condo co-op. So or commercial, but today we're gonna be focusing on residential homes and condos. So you click on the one that is appropriate to you. And then if you have filed an appeal with us before, or you have filed an exemption application with us in the last 2 years, then you probably already have an account. But some of us may have forgotten our password because now they require a password for everything with 12 different characters and numbers and letters. So you can click forgot password so that you can get a new one, or you can create a new account if you haven't gotten one in the past. And then you're gonna it's gonna list out all the available filings, and you wanna make sure that you are clicking on the one that says residential or condo, which is gonna be those two. So it'll be read residential assessment 2024. And then you'll click begin filing. The majority of filing an appeal is clicking next, because a lot of it will automatically populate for you. So here is where you're gonna type in either your PIN or your address. Do not put both, because you can populate an error. So put in your PIN or your address, and then you're gonna click on the start filing. It is possible that if you recently bought your home, the previous owner might be listed on there, and that's okay, because there's an opportunity later on for you to fix that and update that contact information. So you'll click start filing, and then you're gonna click the check boxes for the terms and conditions that you're acknowledging that you are filing an appeal with the assessor's office. Again, you're just confirming the little box that says, click the box if your name doesn't appear on here, and then it'll give you the opportunity to type it all out. But if it does populate, you'll just click it there to start, click select, and it'll fill in the rest of the information for you. Now here is the property characteristics. So this is an opportunity to fix any incorrect property characteristics that may be under your property. So whether it's the age, the construction type, the square footage, how many bathrooms it has, if it has a fireplace, or if it doesn't, if it has garage, all those characteristics that can affect the value of your home. So you would fix those here. And then here is an opportunity for you to tell us how much you think your home is worth. So if it isn't the value that we put on that notice, what is it? Again, you guys are the experts on your home. So what is it that your home is worth? And maybe you don't have a single idea because you're not a real estate agent and that's not what you chose as a career path. That is totally okay. I would suggest looking around the neighborhood, going on Zillow, going on Redfin, doing something of that sort so you can gauge an idea as to how much homes are selling. And then making a decision off of that. And then, and then you would tell us the reason why you are filing that appeal. So if you remember, there's 3 common reasons to file an appeal. Lack of uniformity, so that's my neighbor and the assessor's, my home and the assessor's home. We're neighbors, we're exactly the same, but one is being assessed lower than the other. The second one is overvaluation, so that is when you look at that price and you're like, I can't sell my home for that, it's too much. And then the third one is incorrect property characteristics. So that is the 3 common reasons. But there are other reasons to file appeals, like vacancy, if there was recently a fire, or maybe you're thinking about selling one. It could be something like that you can file for that appeal, and there's an opportunity for you to tell us those reasons. And then you would just click on how the home is being used. Is it a single family? Is it 6 units? Is it mixed use? That's an opportunity to tell us how the home is being used. Okay, now we get to the really, really, really fun part that everyone wants to learn how to do. And by the end of this, hopefully you guys will all be analysts because you will be able to pick out your comparable properties. So our application has an integrated system to help you find those comparable properties. But sometimes we still have difficulty seeing it within it, but there are other methods. And I do want you to write this one down. So you can use Cook Viewer. So that's Can you tell I was in that grade in grammar school? So it would be viewers, as in you're viewing something. Good thing I am not in the spelling classes, I was already failed. But this is an opportunity again for you to find those comparable properties. The system will find homes that are similar to yours by square footage, classification. .com, sorry, cookviewer.com.
Is it cook viewers?
Cookviewer.
No, I cook viewers.
Singular, no. Singular. That I do know. Yeah, and it's also on our website. So if you click on the appeals, there'll be a tab that says find comparable properties, and it'll take you there. So again, this is an opportunity for find those comparable properties. When you are finding your comparable properties, you want to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges. We do not compare an apple to an orange. So we will never compare a single family home to a multi-family home, because they're not the same. So we want to make sure that you're around the same square footage, ideally within the same neighborhood code, but at the very least within your same township. So those are the things that you want to be looking at. And then here you'll just find comparable properties. And then once you select them all, it'll give it to you like this in a grid form. So you can add up to 6 properties on the application, but if you have more, there's an opportunity for you to attach them if you want to. And that's right here. So this is a very, very good opportunity for you to tell us everything that we need to know about your home. So you can attach affidavits about vacancy, you can attach appraisal. So maybe you recently bought your home and it was appraised. You can submit that documentation. You can submit closing documentation as well. You can submit pictures or even a narrative. Now, we're not saying write us a novel, but a few sentences as to why your home is unique. Tell us why your home isn't worth that. So a lot of people take this opportunity to say, my home hasn't been renovated since the 70s. So a home that hasn't been renovated since the 70s is not going to sell the same as a home that has been recently gutted and rehabbed with a Martha Stewart kitchen and all the thingies that come in. I'm not a homeowner, so I don't know. I don't know what comes in there. So that is an opportunity for you to tell us that on there. And then you're going to sign it, submit it. And then it's going to ask you, are you really sure that you are done submitting? And this is almost the point of no return, because once you submit, it gets really difficult to reattach anything on there. So make sure that you uploaded all of your documentation and that you're making sure that everything that you want to say is already in there. And then you'll click yes, and it'll give you a filing ID. And then you can pat yourself on the back or give yourself a high five because you just finished with your appeal. So that filing ID number is super important to write down. A filing ID number is the best way, so if you have a question as to where your appeal is in the process, you can always call us or send us an email or something and ask us where the status is. Or of course, you can always log back into your account and check up on the status. But the results of your appeal are going to be mailed to you. So you will receive that in the mail, and it'll tell you about that note change or a decrease. Right now it's taking about a month and a half or so for you to get that. But there is a lot of information on our website. You can check the exemption history, appeal history, read about our assessment notices, and about the reassessment in general. So now I'm going to go over the common exemptions that we do have. Again, all of the eligibility is available on our website. So if you need further information on it, please go on there. I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to address any questions that you guys may have. Very quick, simple process. So again, the most common one is the homeowner exemption. The homeowner exemption, if you own and live in your home, you should have this on your tax bill. This is given to people that own their home and live in it as of January 1st of the tax year in question. We also have the senior exemption, which is for people that were born in 1958 or prior, for right now. And then there is also the senior freeze exemption. The senior fees exemption is for people, again, who were born in 1958 or prior and have a household income of $65,000 or less. So if you qualify for those, make sure that you are receiving them, and again, they're in the back of that sheet. So those are the most common ones. And then there's also the persons with disability exemption. So if you are disabled, you can have your physician tell us, and we can have that filled out. Sorry, they will fill that out, and you would bring it to us, and you can file for those exemptions. If you were looking at the back of that sheet, and it turns out that you weren't receiving your homeowners in a while, we can currently go back as far as 2019 to reclaim that money. So then if you have any of those missing exemptions, you can file a certificate of error and go as far back as 2019 to get that money back. One second, I'm almost done, I promise. Okay, let's get to the fun stuff then. So the long time exemption is a bit of a mirage. It had good intentions when it was put in place, but it didn't pan out the way that people thought it was going to pan out. So only 2% of Cook County residents actually qualify for this exemption. If you were eligible for the exemption, you would have received the application in the mail. The way that you qualify for this is that, one, you need to have been living in your home for 10 years. Easy, right? A lot of people live in their homes for that long. The other one is that you have to have a household income of $100,000 or less. And then the third one is that the value of your home needed to significantly go up over those last 10 years. And those numbers, again, are told to us by the state legislation. That is how they know. Again, if you were eligible to receive this exemption, you would have received the application through the mail.
I have one quick question. I'm in a condo, and I know that Assessor Kagi had stated that the exemptions or the prices were pretty flat over the last, few years, that it didn't actually go more than 10%. Because my assessment was more like for 14%. I'm in a condo, and I couldn't find any comparables in my neighborhood that were really any good, because the housing sales have been pretty flat lately because of the high interest rates and
So
such.
condos are assessed differently than residential homes.
Right, is there any place I can find out the information as far as what the buildings are, because some have been, let's say, had roofs replaced, others have not, which would impact, of course, possible the resale value of the condo too.
Yeah, so you can ask the condo association, see how much the units are selling for within the.
Right now, we're going through they're having a takeover of our condo association. A smaller firm in Skokie was just bought out, so I don't think this is gonna be straightened out before, unfortunately, the period closes.
Yeah, so that might be,
Thanks for your question. When we assess condos, we have to assess the whole building.
Right.
And that's how the law sets it up. And usually the condo association will appeal on behalf of everyone in the building.
Correct.
What I recommend your condo association or anyone working with it is, we do have lots of data about condos on our website. You can see how it's done. Typically, the best comparables are units within the building. If any units within the building have sold either this year or in previous years, that's generally how we try to model condos. And we know it's not ideal because we don't have information about the interiors of condos, so sometimes individual sales of a condo might skew the value of a whole building. There was a Martha Stewart unit inside a condo that's not been renovated, that can sometimes skew it. So that's part of the things that your condo association would bring about in an appeal. But I want to make sure that Lupe gets through all the exemptions, and then I promise we'll get to everyone's question.
Whatever, because I just wanted to point out too that this is an out-of-state firm from Minnesota purchasing a local property tax place from Skokie.
Yes, so there are.
So
We've seen
we're not gonna have any
everything under the
exemptions
sun,
to go on.
and there are lots of special situations.
Right.
Sometimes I'll tell you about the
Okay,
adult
so
entertainment
I-
club in Stone Park that had a convent next to it. And so
Oh,
we
yes,
see
I
all
remember
sorts of
hearing that.
situations. We're happy to answer them at the end here. I just want to make sure we get through the presentation presentation for everyone's benefit, and I promise you will be able to get to everyone's question.
Okay, thank you much.
I got a question.
I promise we'll get to the question, I'm almost done, I promise. If you could go to the next slide, please. So this is another really important thing that I want you guys to know about. The Cook County Treasurer's Office has done a really good job at revamping those,
Wait, Luke, if you could go to the previous slide, we can show them how to find that.
oh, I'm sorry, scatterbrain. So again, this is how you find your exemptions, and again, to make sure that they're on your tax bill. Exemptions always show up on the second installment bill. So that is your yellow bill that shows up in the spring. You got a blue one at the beginning of the year, that is in the winter time, and then the yellow one, which is usually around the springtime. You'll always find them in that bottom left-hand corner, and you'll see a value number right there.
And if you see zeros, like they are right here, they're missing their exemption. And so this is a case where you should apply for the exemption and apply for certificates of error, so you can be refunded for those exemptions that you missed.
And again, going back, the Cook County Treasurer's Office has done a good job at showing you exactly what those taxing levies and those taxing bodies are. So if you're wondering, what is all my money being used for? They show it to you right here. And in the city of Chicago, a big portion of that is the Board of Education. But again, we are here to help you guys. You can call us at the phone number that you see on the screen. You can connect with us on social media. You can make an appointment for in-person assistance at any one of our 4 branch offices. And you can sign up to receive emails from our office as well. And then the Commissioner's Office did want to have a few words, so go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah Fairley. I'm the Chief of Staff with Commissioner Bridget Gaynor. So we're going to help as many folks as we can tonight, but we do have to leave the center by 8. So I wanted to share some upcoming workshops with you if we're not able to help you tonight, and our contact information. So for the 41st Ward, that's Alderman Napolitano. We're going to be there October 24th at the 41st Ward office from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For the 45th Ward, that's Alderman Jim Gardner. We're going to be there on November 4th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and November 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then the 39th Ward, that's Alderman Sam Nugent. We're going to be there November 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if they're, if the Alderman's offices express that they need additional support, we're happy to find some other times. And then I wanted to share our office phone number. If you have any questions, it's 312-603-4210. That's 312-603-4210. Thank you. So we're, myself and my team, we're able to help with tax appeals. We can help you file or answer any general questions. And then you'll have to reach out to the Alderman's office directly. Some of them do it by appointment, some do walk-ins, but we assure you, if you contact us, we'll do our best to help you within the filing period. And that's until, I believe it's November 13th. 312-603-4210.
What organization?
Yeah, sure, let me read through those again. So, on October 24th, we'll be at the 41st Ward office from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yes, and then, we have 2 at the 45th Ward coming up, so that'll be on November 4th and November 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on both days. And then the 39th Ward will be there November 7th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yes, all of those events are at the Alderman's office. I'd also encourage you to call the Alderman's office and see if they have any additional resources, or they might have another time set up with the assessor's office. Thank you.
What is your agency?
I'm with Commissioner Gaynor's office, Abbott County.
Phone number one more time.
Yep, of course, 312-603-4210.
Okay, well, that concludes the presentation portion of what we wanted to give to you today. You guys have been really great. You've been very patient. I want to let you, if you need to get get up, this is a good time to get up. Now, sound does carry in here, so I want to let you know how we're doing it from here. We have a table in the back where we have professionals who can guide you through specifics that you might have about your property that you just want to ask someone about, or if you need help how to file a certificate of error or other things. And then I will be here. Can we take questions? We have a microphone. So guys, we will have a microphone for questions, but if you keep the crosswalk down here because your voice does carry here, I want to make sure we get it.
Look how slick they are. They made everybody get up and then they mention questions.
Not to talk amongst yourselves. We're here to take your questions. So, Lupe? Oh, okay, sorry. We do not have a microphone. However, Lupe will come over to you. Hey, everybody, Lupe, I'm going to stand right here. If you have a question, raise your hand. She'll come over to you and make sure, and then I'll repeat the question, okay? So, Lupe, do you want to start?
All right, I know you guys have questions and I do want to address them, so I want to make sure that we get through all of them. So I'm going to do it one row at a time. Try to keep it short together. We got to be out of here in a timely manner. And again, we will try our best to answer your questions, okay? So I'm going to start with this first row right here. Oh, this section right here, and I'll circle around over there.
And please, if you could be respectful of your neighbors, you've been so great so far. Try to keep the crosswalk down so everyone can hear.
Mr. KG, this is
Just a second. So the question was, can you move exemptions from one home to another? So you can only claim one exemption on your primary residence. So in the year that you owned your residence, that is where you have your exemption on it. And then the following year, when you're there in the new residence for a full year, then you'd apply for the exemption for your home for that year.
Okay, so I had a previous home, which I didn't have exceptions.
Okay.
So those are gone from, you get what I'm saying? I have a new home, and I had a previous home. I didn't claim my exemptions in my previous home.
Yeah, so you would still be able to claim, but you have to prove that you were living.
That's all.
All right, so
That's all.
next question.
This is very fast. I got two more.
Everybody, please be patient. We will get to everyone's question if we can keep the noise down.
Or if they said you're gonna go by the road.
Okay, hey guys, so we're going to address your questions individually in the back just because it's hard for everyone to hear and we want to be able to get to everyone. Okay, so our staff will be in the back. I'll be up here. If you want to come with me, I want to thank everyone for attending tonight. Thank you.
Go for it. Yes, you can. You can apply for all of them, but this one you have to go in our office. If you're eligible for it, you would have gotten an application in the year.
Every building permit that is filed in the city, it gets reported to us. Hopefully they've all been reported well in the past. And so that's how we build our knowledge. We get information and data from all those places. We have a field team that goes out and looks at the built environment. And we generally renew that. We can't renew it every year, so that's also
This is like the insurance. We have no idea.
That's right. So that's why it's important that permits be reported to us, and if there's something that's inaccurate about your house, please report it to us. And that's their appeal, is a good chance to do that. Hey.
hi, how's it going? I'm George.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, sir. The assessor's office, like every other office, is required to prominently display some records for FOIA,
Yes.
easily be seen.
Yes.
I brought that to the attention many times, but
Yes.
Christina Lynch, I record on YouTube, so
Yes.
Christina Lynch, one of your staff members,
Yeah, she's one of our best staff members. She's
yeah,
amazing.
but she did not address that point, and the office is still withholding this very important information.
Okay.
If Mr. Jose could
So
take a photo.
we're happy to help you. We replied a FOIA request within 2 or 3 days.
Right.
We're very proud of the record
Another
there.
thing,
and
sir-
you can always find it on our website.
Right.
And do it there or come to our office.
But it's required to be at the place.
We follow all the requirements.
Yeah. Another thing, your
And I want
office.
to make sure we get to
Yeah,
everyone's
for sure.
question.
It's real quick.
Take that up.
The office
Take
is
that up with the office,
right.
with our legal.
The office
This
is
is not
supposed
for
to be
this.
open, but there's under section 910 of the code, but there's a key badge on the executive assessor's door. That's not supposed to be there. I was told that was there for
We
construction.
follow all the rules there.
Right.
And
Okay,
and the
Mr.
office is
Jose,
open
here's
to
the
public.
statute here, so you guys can look at it at a later time.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I get.
I'll take a picture, okay?
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to build allies with you guys.
All right, I'll take a picture, I'll make sure we get.
All right. Take care.
There's an exemption for people with disabilities.
All right, here's what we're gonna do, guys. I shook the assessor's hand, and I wanted to chat with them, but here's what we're gonna do. Let me give you guys a synopsis. Let me give you guys a synopsis. They wanted to make it quick. Here you see everybody in here, right? Okay. What I should have done, here's what I should have done. I should have came more prepared. I should have came out with a flyer, piece of paper, to hand everybody and inform them on 2 items that are very important. One of them is that's the assessor right there. His office is closed. His office is closed, and it's supposed to be open because here's the statute right here. 910 office hours. The office of the county assessment officer shall be open all year round during normal business hours to receive complaints, suggestions that the property has not been properly assessed. So with that being said, that's one thing that I want to inform everybody about if anybody has questions or inquiries. Another thing that I want to inform them is that Section 4 FOIA, these folks are still failing to prominently display these records. So here's the good thing. They gave 3 more additional dates where they're going to have these type of gatherings. I'm going to go prepared for those 3. And if there's 150 people in the crowd, I'm going to print out 150 flyers and bring these 2 points to the people on top of 3 and 4 more points. I have 4 total points I want to point out to everybody. I pointed out 2 to you guys. I have an additional 2 that I'm not going to mention yet because people are watching. But another thing is that it was odd because when they mentioned questioning they wanted to have everybody have a voice or have a question. It seemed like they confused the people and tell them to go to the back. So when everybody started standing up and talking back and forth, it was hard for them to have questions from the people. So with that being said, they then secretly took people one by one to ask them questions, one by one secretly. Instead of having the whole crowd in total, one person ask a question at a time so everybody could hear what's going on. You have any good words for what just happened?
Not really,
No.
not really, just your alderman's office, go to downtown.
Right. I mentioned 2 points to them, ma'am. One of the points is that the assessor's office, the main man, KG, his office, according to the law, is supposed to be open all year round during normal business hours to suggest that property has not been assessed. But they have a lock on their door and it's locked. Another thing is they're required under the Freedom of Information Act to prominently display their budget and everything else. They don't have that. Yeah. They don't care. They want the money. Yeah.
The mayor's office, the mayor's wife wants money for her office.
Right.
$50,000.
Yeah. Take care, guys. All right. Well, that about all. I mean, what could we still do? What could we still do? Let me speak to one of the chief of staff.
Yeah, or I can give you my ID. And then if not, it sounds like just with the, especially because it's such a big crowd, I'll talk to my people, we'll try to add everything to go out, so yeah.
But, I was gonna ask you a question. If,
Or, let me see, do you use their number? Yeah. I can use it probably. Yeah, or, yeah, if you just wanna call me, or if you'd rather go, yeah, I'm gonna try to, I don't Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's like.
The PIN number, yeah. Yes, remember when he said, they said, okay, let's say you have to remodel your house, and we can see that there's a lot of so you would want to show that your property is not bad.
I don't know, but the point is,
Exactly.
I'm sure you're entitled to that.
Or what a kitchen, bathroom.
4 years. So let's make sure that you get credit for the exemption for that year. You can file a certificate of error application for that year.
I mean, remember, if you're saying you could go on Zillow or you could go on
Which one moves faster?
what do you think of
Yeah.
I think it's legit. What do you think?
I can't tell you, I know we would consider it.
We're valuing
There are about 40
essentially.
different data points that we look at.
And you're saying you're willing to
But I don't know that other house or not.
so you want to put, okay, my house is
Would
worth,
look at it.
I think my house is worth.
39 to 460.
Okay, well, what do you think your house is worth? Okay.
No,
Well, if we got a
remember,
deal,
you're
we
healing,
can
and then you're going to show them, say, this is my house, I think my house. And I can be ran all my
be taking into account
many different years. Then you can show the pictures of, the house, and then you can put that in the narrative. When you're healing, you know, that this is in the narrative. Essentially, you can say, my house is not having, my house is not
So I would also do that. Sometimes we only have what they.
Right, I agree with you.
It's not gonna go up. It'll go, it'll be your.
I know. Unfortunately, it's because no one can hear the answers to the questions.
But I just wanted to know how.
I'm sorry, we
Yeah.
just wish that everything was perfect. Unfortunately, sometimes we find things.
How could we set an appointment? How could we set an
You
appointment?
can make an appointment online.
With on the site?
Online, you can make an appointment.
I did many times. I got no
Okay.
response.
Okay. You can.
What
do-
about
you
an
can
office
do it
hour?
downtown or at our branch office. There are
Right.
many different ways to
Is there a
to make an
specific
appointment.
employee I have to speak to?
No.
No. Good.
Quick question, she, on the senior exemption.
Okay. Good. Oh, excuse me. Alrighty. You see, those ladies are on the same page as me. They said, "Hey, why didn't you guys take questions?" And then he said they didn't have a microphone. The assessor just told a blatant one to everybody. Okay, well, I think that's all about it, man. We're all done here. I want to interview those ladies if they come outside. I want to interview those ladies because they're on the same page. Unless if you have a allodial title.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sticking it out. I really appreciate it. I know there's a lot of things going on.
That's the number that they're using. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is the main number and get a switch for it, but if you got a direct number, you can try that.
Excuse me, ma'am. I wanted to ask you, I'm recording here. You noticed what I noticed too. They were ready to ask questions of the people, but then all of a sudden there was commotion when they told everybody go to the back.
Well, they said some go to the back for
Right.
individual, and for here, she was going to start with this road
Yeah.
and go across, and just raise your hand if you had a question.
But wouldn't it make sense if everybody's question was asked in front of everybody else?
Yes,
Right.
because you might have the same question with
Exactly.
5 different people, yes.
I think they did this way on purpose because they want to keep information.
No, I don't think that.
No?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
do not think that. I think it's the people who started coming up to
Right.
reading, and unfortunately, she can't just say,
Here's another thing. Illinois Compiled Statute, Section 910 says the office hours of Mr. KG, the assessor, is to be open all year round during normal business hours to receive complaints or suggestions. So we have a right all year round to go voice complaints or suggestions.
Okay.
Problem is they have a key lock on that door and it's closed, while the statute says it's got to be open.
I don't know.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Here's what we gotta tell them. We gotta tell them, prove to us that you're making us pay taxes. There you go. All right. You know what? Let me chat with Mr. Jose. Okay, Mr. Jose. You did take a clear photo.
Yes, I did.
My friend, we want to promote you to assessor. You're the
You
assistant.
promoted me enough.
We want to promote you to assessor. But the problem is that these requirements are supposed to be up. I'm just checking. Because maybe one day,
Go to the legal office, bro. You know that.
maybe one day I'd be in office. Alrighty, have a good day. He said you interviewed me already. He's all over my videos. But you see, I'm not like that, man. I'm not like an antagonist or nothing. I don't want to come here and cause ruckus or nothing. So, I just ask a couple questions and call it a day. There's going to be similar meetings on the wards offices. Do you guys have those dates?
Yes.
Oh, can I have a copy?
I don't have the flyer though, but I can tell it to
Tell
you.
verbally. Yep.
Yeah, November here.
Mhm.
So for our office, it'll be on Thursday, November 7th. But you would have to call
39.
our office, the 39th Ward office, and schedule an appointment.
November
7th.
7th.
Mhm.
Is it
But it's one-on-one appointment. It's by appointment only between the hours of 10 and 3 p.m. So it's first come, first serve. So
10 to 3
Yeah,
p.m.
yeah, I don't-
So it's by appointment because they can't fit all those people in there?
right, and it's
Right.
and our alderman at least wanted to at least have an opportunity for our residents and citizens to come in and speak with someone one-on-one for 20,
Sure.
25 minutes from the county to answer.
Oh, okay. So county staff will be at the alderman's to answer any questions. Great. So what I got here for confirmation on the 39th Ward is November 7th at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
But you must call the office in order to make an
Appointment, right?
Mhm.
Moving on.
Gardner's office.
Yes,
The 4th of November, she was saying.
correct.
that's strictly for appeals, or would that be for exemptions as well?
No, it's only for appeals and certificates of error, that's the server rate.
Certificates of error, but not for exemptions, certificate of error for the appeal, right? That's
So you can appeal, yeah, you can appeal, or if, say, you were supposed to get the senior freeze or the senior exemption and you didn't get it for, the previous few years,
Okay.
you could apply to get that back.
So they'll have people to do that?
Correct.
Okay.
But why in the
On the fourth.
system
So
do I get it 1 year, not the next year, and then I
So
get
the
it the
senior-
next 3 years?
So the senior freeze during COVID, you didn't have to apply for it every year.
Well, it says auto renewal on 2 of them that I didn't get.
So, but then starting, I believe it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, you had to start with the senior freeze, you had to start applying for it every year again, because that's based on income.
So, where it says auto renewal is not true?
That's the senior
For senior-
age.
Yes, I got,
exemption.
yes,
The
that's
age.
exactly
Yeah.
what I'm
Correct.
talking
So the
about.
senior exemption and senior freeze are two different things.
Okay. What happened is,
Because like I did the
it was received, wasn't received,
Sorry.
and then it was received, and it says auto renewal.
Mm-hmm.
So why in this great computer age that we have, should it not have been done?
So we can, if you,
I have to do the work, is what you're saying, in order to file for it. I have to go in and
So what we
do
do-
the filing.
what we do is we host meetings, and we bring out the assessor's office, and we bring out the county commissioner's, staff. Because they're the ones that can assist. So that's what we do. We bring them into our office, and then you can make an appointment.
There's business cards there. Is there business cards for this ward?
I don't, we ran
Okay.
out actually.
Okay.
So, sorry.
We gotta put in the work for them to print some out.
To me, it should not
Yes,
have happened if it's
exactly.
auto renewal, is what I'm saying. It's like, you're making me do the work that should have been automatic. I think that's a crime.
Oh, wow.
All right, then, thank you, ma'am. Then I'll make an
Absolutely.
appointment on the 4th then. I
No,
know he puts it on his website.
So the fourth is, pretty well filled. We have some cancellations. Give us a call, because we do have another date, and I believe Hannah's gonna try to get it actually.
Well, that was the 8th, I'll be out of
So,
town.
yeah. So give us a call in the morning. Do you
Okay.
have my card?
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
Aaron, this one.
absolutely.
This is Aaron.
Oh, okay, they got
Yep.
flipped around.
Okay. That's the lady at the front desk?
That's Joyce. I'm Aaron.
Okay.
Madam Aaron, I just wanted
All
to
right, very good.
confirm.
I didn't know, I looked on the website, he sends, Alderman Gall.
Absolutely.
Gardner sends his website out. I didn't notice that one.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, but give us a call tomorrow.
okay,
All
very
right.
good. Thank
The
you.
date and the time for the Ward 45th,
October 22nd,
October 22nd.
November 4th,
Oh, there's two, November 4th
and November 8th.
and November 8th, and these are all at the 45th,
10, yes, correct,
10 a.m.
to 2 p.m.
2 p.m. on Milwaukee.
Correct.
I'm proud of James because first I wasn't so proud, but then when he said he stands with Palestine and the end to the ceasefire, do a ceasefire, that's when I said he's doing the right call. So we might have to vote for him again.
Yeah, if you want to make an appointment, just give us a call.
By appointment.
Correct.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Likewise. Alrighty. Thank you. Alrighty, guys. Well, there it was. We got to meet the assessor. They were dismissive. I seen what kind of show they ran. They said first they wanted questions, right? But really, they didn't want people to ask questions for others to hear. You know what I'm saying? Because when the people start asking questions about their tax bill, it's going to cause chaos in the chamber. People are going to start being pissed off. Oh yeah, I could relate to that senior citizens question, just like the old lady walking out. You saw the old lady walking out. She said these employees are criminal. They want her to do all the work. Here's an old white lady, 60 years old, 65 years old. She just called the employees criminals. A regular citizen. She's not an auditor. So that's why oh, this is private property. That's why they didn't want the general public asking questions altogether. They first mentioned that, but then they took it away. And I'm starting to think they do this at other events too. We're going to check. They just gave me 4 additional events to go to. They claim by appointment only. Okay, no problem. Here, I'm calling for an appointment. My name is John Doe. But there it is. We get to see yet another runaround. I pointed out 2 valid points to them. One of them, you folks are hiding your freedom of information. The second, you guys got your office closed when it's supposed to be open per code. Those are 2 out of 4. The other 2 questions I'm not going to ask right now because I don't want to tip my hand. But I think we're all ready then. Anyways, you guys be the judge, or let me know what you think. The one who encourages you to audit them.